Welcome back to another exciting edition of Mr. Hunter's Notes. So what we need to do for our warm-up today in section 1.3 is distribute. When we distribute, what we're just doing is we're just going ahead and we're multiplying the number on the outside times everything on the inside. I like to do this by drawing some arrows. So if we look here, we've got negative 3 times t, which is negative 3t. And then we've got negative 3 times 7, which is negative 21. Another example, 4 times v is 4v. 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. Now notice, I cannot combine these. One's got a t, one doesn't. I can't combine these because one's got a v, the other doesn't. So I'm done. I just go ahead and multiply by everything on the inside. Now, if you remember from last time, we had 3 things we had to be able to do. We had to be able to distribute, combine like terms, and SADMAP. So if I look here, I want to figure out some way to move this over here. So I need to be able to somehow get this 4x over here. Well, whatever we do to one side, we've got to do the other. But if I make this a positive 4x on both sides, well, look at that. I get some cancellation. So that leaves me with just 10 here. Since these have opposite signs, we subtract. 9 minus 4 is 5. 9 is bigger, so we stay negative. And now I'm here. Well, we know to get rid of this 5, we divide. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Positive divided by a negative is negative. These cancel, and we're just left with x. Okay, cool. So we distribute, combine like terms, SADMAP. Well, let's look at this one. Remember, distribute, combine like terms, SADMAP. So I've got 5p equals 24 minus 3p. Now I want to get the p's on the same side. I notice that I've already got a 5p over here, so I've got to figure out some way to get a 3p over here. Well, we know if you do it to one side, you got to do it to the other. If I add 3p to both sides, well, I get something to cancel out here. Same sign, so we add them. 5 plus 3 is 8. Then we know again, to get rid of this last step, we're going to divide. So p is 3. Okay. Moving on. Okay. So I've got to remember. Distribute. Combine like terms. SADMAP. So I've got distributing on both sides. 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Now, when we're distributing a fraction, we are dividing by this number, multiplying by this number. So I'm going to divide 32 by 4, which is 8. And then multiply it by 1. Well, 8 times 1 is 8x. Same thing here. I'm going to divide by 4. So 56 divided by 4 is 14. 14 times 1 is 14. Now I've got to figure out some way to get the variables on the same side. Well, I could do that 2 ways. I like to just move the smaller number. But if you notice, I've got to make these negative to get this to cancel out. 8 minus 9 is 1, or 1x. And now I'm here. But I need to be able to get the 12 on both sides, but this time it needs to be positive so that these will cancel out because they're inverses. 4 plus 2 is 6. 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay. We're going to just skip this one. It's really similar to what we just did, but when we're distributing a decimal, just go ahead and write it all out. So this is 10 times 0.5. So that's 5 times 0, which is 0. 5 times 1, which is 5. Bring a 0. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. Add it all together. 0, 5, 0. I've got one decimal spot, so I move it over 1. So this ends up being 5.0 n. And then this is just negative 0.5 n. You can do the rest if you want, but I'm just going to leave that there for you. Okay. Well, let's look at this one. This one's kind of interesting because we're distributing a fraction. Now, if you remember what we said a little bit earlier, when you're distributing your fraction, sorry, excuse me. We're going to divide by this number and then multiply by this number. So when I distribute this, 8 divided by 4 is 2, times negative 3 is negative 6n. 12 divided by 4 is 3, times negative 3 is negative 9. 3 times n is 3n. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Okay. Well, I'm going to move this 6n to both sides by adding it. That cancels. Just have a negative 9 left. 3n plus 6n is 9n. Now I've got to move the 9 over. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides. Cancels here, but it also cancels here. But I've got to be able to write something over here. So I remember that 9 minus 9 is 0. Now we know once we get to here, we just divide by 9. 0 divided by 9 is 0. Okay. Now, sometimes we're going to get some special cases. So let's look at that here. Again, distribute, combine like terms, SADMAP. So I've got some distributing here. 3 times 5x is 15x. 3 times 2 is 6. I didn't do anything with this 15x. So I want to combine my like terms. My x's are the same, so I want to be able to combine them. To do that, though, I've got to do negative so that it cancels on one side. But it also cancels on the other. But remember from that last problem we just did, if something cancels, it really means it goes to 0. But wait. 6 equals 0. That's not true. So this is one of our special cases. Since this is not true, we say the answer is a no solution. So anytime we get something that doesn't make sense, this one says 6 equals 0. That doesn't make sense. That's not true. It's a no solution. Now, we could also get something else happening. Remember, distributing, combining like terms, SADMAP. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8y. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. So, I want to combine my like terms. But wait, These are opposites, so they cancel. These are opposites, so they cancel. So I'm left with negative 2 equals negative 2. Well, that's true, though. Negative 2 does equal negative 2. So this special case, when it is true, is called an identity. But we also say that this answer has infinitely many solutions. Now, some places you'll also see this written as all real numbers. So those are the two special cases. No solution, infinitely many solutions. So let's look at it and maybe try to get a better idea of what's going on. So remember, 3 steps. Distribute. Combine like terms. Then SADMAP. So I distribute. 12D. Minus 4. Notice I'm multiplying it to everything. So now I need to move my like terms. So I'm going to move 12, subtract, because I want some cancellation, but it cancels here, and it cancels here, which means with negative 4 equals 0. But that's not true. Negative 4 does not equal 0. So we call this one a no solution. All right. The last one we're going to look at for this section. Okay, so again, it's distribute, combine like terms, SADMAP. So I distribute. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times negative w is negative 7w. So again, I want to move my like terms. But that cancels, and that cancels. So I end up with 21 equals 21. Is that true? Yeah, 21 does equal 21. So we call this an infinitely many solutions. So again, if you get something that doesn't make sense, that's a no solution. You get something that's true, it's an infinitely many. All right. Well, let's look at some more. So let's look at this one. Again, distribute, combine like terms, SADMAP. So I distribute. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times negative p is negative 4p. Rewrite anything you didn't change. I need to get my like terms together. So I need to move the 4p's. To do that, I've got to add, though. But that cancels. And that cancels. And I'm just left with 4 equals 4. Well, 4 equals 4. That is true. So this is an infinitely many solutions. All right. Let's look at one more. Last one, I promise. Because I don't have any more. All right, so last one. Now remember, when we are distributing a fraction, we're dividing by the bottom number, multiplying by the top number. So 6 divided by 6 is 1, times 5 is 5. 10 divided by 6 is 10 over 6, times 5 is 50 over 6. Sometimes it's not going to work out, and that's okay. So on this side, I've got 6m minus m. So I've got to combine my like terms. Well, these are like terms. They're both m's. 6m minus m is 5m. But now I need to get some more like terms together. So I've got to move my 5m's. But that's subtraction, subtraction, and again, they cancel out. But I need something over here, so I've got to write a 0. Now, does this make sense? Does 0 equal 50 over 6? Well, of course not. So we have a no solution. And there you go. As long as you remember to distribute, combine like terms by moving them or combining them, and SADMEP, you can do all of these. I promise it. Until next time, see you later.